Nave cohort, we are here, and we are doing something a little different today. We running around a little bit in Star Citizen, and spend a little bit of time with the Reclaimer, which should be fun. I don't know if we're going to be joined by anybody in today's adventure, but that's okay. And we'll see how things go. Go ahead and get this flipped over here. And we can see what's going on. Just gathering the last of my supplies here before we head out.
Hi. Thanks for coming in. You can always use your Moby if you want some more details on what we have in stock. I think you're going to be happy with that.
Okay, let's get these placed on the belt where they belong. And we'll start making our way towards the hangar. I'm gonna say I've been enjoying my time with Star Citizen a lot more lately. There's a lot of the more favorite features and gameplay loops and things like that I enjoy and are part of things.
Providing connections to all major The next shuttle is approaching the station. Last call for passengers. The shuttle is preparing to depart. Please clear the hatch. Shuttle will be departing.
Usually we've got a little bit more crew on than this for doing things with the Reclaimer. But we'll still get something done today. It might just take us a little longer.
The next shuttle is approaching the station. Approaching next station. If this is your stop, please prepare to disembark. Last call for passengers. The shuttle is preparing to depart.
Still standing in weird spots, apparently.
Last call for passengers. The shuttle is preparing to
Morning, Anna. I don't know what Trigger's up to, but if he wants to hop in and go grind some ships on air, we can do that. Okay, very important for my crew. Purchase a Finley.
Hi, welcome to the store.
I thought luxury had to cost extra and great customer service. That was the thing.
If you're not seeing something, you might want to check
I
yourself.
stayed at the Green Circle. Each room comes with the softest linens. The staff treated me so well, and the accommodations were so thoughtfully considered that it was like having a vacation for my vacation. Why would you ever rent a hab from anyone else? Green Circle.
Welcome
Stay around.
to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Okay, let us deliver the reclaimer.
Please visit us again.
Alright, let's go ahead and set Finley down here for a minute.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your vehicle. Please visit us again.
This is going to be hilarious, but I kind of want the Grey Cat up here first. Behold! They really do need like a smaller side pad for little vehicles like this. But the personal hangar system is kind of nice in that everything is persistent.
Systems activated.
So I can drive this guy over here. Good enough. And he will stay there. He'll be there when I come back. But that's not why folks are here, so let's go ahead and bring out Jorge.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Vehicles, your vehicle, please visit us again. Goodbye.
The big ones you can actually name. Which is why she actually has one. And I might have forgotten something here. See if it'll let me... Nope. She's in the wrong skin.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
I think she also needs... And there we go, the Dovaline. And the Agni Quantum Drive. Okay, now that she's got her kit together.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Vehicles, your please visit us.
Pull her up in her proper livery. And with the more efficient quantum drive. There we go, not just a generic reclaimer, she's got some lighter trim on her. And before we start taking off, we'll even give a brief tour of the ship. Starting with the exterior. Her name is on her hull. Reclaimer is a heavy salvage ship, which is designed to go out and turn useless scrap into recycled parts. She has 6 remote station turrets that have weapons on them, and 1 man turret with size 5 weapons overhead. Lasers throughout. No warheads. She boasts an extremely meager 11,000 SCU fuel tank for quantum fuel. I say meager because it kind of actually is compared to other ships of her size. This forward claw does extend and retract, and facilitates the breakup of ships once they've been done. And these 2 conical shapes here up front are combination ship hull scrapers and tractor beams, which can grapple and manipulate ships of most sizes, but not all sizes. And she can comfortably support a crew of 5 with a maximum everybody doing something occupancy of 13. 15 perhaps when we have the drone operation stations working. Lovingly place Finney here. Finley here, right? No. No, that is... I said lovingly place. Not carelessly throw. Alright, well, he's here now. Alright, we're going to start our tour actually in the bottom part of the ship, which is not the salvage hold, but the cargo hold. lowest deck on the ship. Cargo hold is very simple. My hopes is that this door will eventually be openable, perhaps with a ramp of some kind, so that we could take the boxes that are on this grid and just directly unload them. At current, this particular hold can hold, I believe, about well, actually, this hold is not as big. I want to say it holds maybe 120 SCU worth of storage in terms of its actual gridlocked space. Alright, so the next deck up is going to be salvage hold. Salvage hold actually sits underneath the deck above where I dropped Finley off. And there is some room for additional storage here. These plates kind of look like they can move on some level. And there is a salvage elevator that at the moment has no interaction to go up from here. So it is kind of a, I don't want to say a one-way trip, but it kind of is. So as long as there's somebody above who can operate the lift, you can transition between the two decks. This has got some additional storage plates here for crates and things. Next up is one of the main operating bellies of the ship, which is salvage processing. And this is where the bulk of our SCU storage space really comes into play. We've been able to fit more than 1,000 SCUs worth of storage space up on this deck. And the boxes are printed from these two sections here that are attached to the internal hopper. So as we mulch materials, we can use these things to print cargo boxes and store those boxes throughout the hold. There is a deck above this one called Salvage Balcony, which I'm not going to go to because you could see it all from here. It's just this upper floor, which has a walkway that goes all the way around and allows for even more storage. This is basically the whole aft. If you look at the reclaimer, it's like a large insect, like the abdomen of the ship. Which is extremely cavernous. And I don't know if some of these panels are going to be able to open up and perhaps expose themselves in some way to the space outside. But it is a curious thought as to how the drones are going to be able to do their work. Alright, so we talked about the salvage balcony, so now we're going to go to the habitation deck where most of the day-to-day kind of exists on the ship. Okay, so immediately off the elevator we have the one of the two entrances to the subdeck, which we'll go downstairs and look at, and two airlocks, port and starboard. Inside the airlock space, we do have provisions for suits and various supplies. I would almost imagine that when they do a quality of life path on this ship, that we're going to have storage bays in here for rifles, for equipment, tractor beam emitters, things of that sort. Added on all sides, and the docking hatch does in fact go outside. And that is mirrored on the other end. I'm going to take a trip down the subdeck. Component bays. Or large scale components. Oop. And hey, they finally got rid of my 2-ton box that had been sitting here. Smaller component bays. This is the chief engineer's domain, as we have our reactor, an actual workstation, access to all of the primary components of the ship. Moving forward, we have crew habitation. We'll go with the crew quarters here. We got some lockers, 4 crew beds, which, you know, depending upon how many people I've got on board the ship at a time, are probably going to be hotboxed a little bit like you'd find in a submarine. But normal operations, I don't expect to go out with a crew bigger than 5. So everybody should be able to get their own bed. There are a total of 2 very large and 3 smaller crew lockers there, in addition to 4 locker areas there next to the beds for personal effects. So this would be for like weapons and suit storage, that kind of thing for the entire crew. This could be for other miscellaneous equipment, and then people's personal effects can be stored in the individual personal lockers. Attached to that, we have a full service head, complete with sinks, toothbrushes, presumably linen storage, a couple of showers, a couple of heads, toilets. Across the hall, we have the captain's quarters, which includes a spacious office featuring a chair that at the moment doesn't turn around. But I believe the current mindset for that is that I would sit in this chair and then pivot it while I'm looking around. So it would turn around and face the actual desk there, but plenty of room for office accoutrement. Drinking water, coffee, very important. Kind of an all-service little personal food galley area for myself. A couple of large equipment lockers. And the captain's quarters, including, you know, personal gear. And my own combined head and shower. And another personal locker. Forward of the crew quarters is the mess hall, featuring a very Nostromo-inspired sort of central room with the ship's galley Imagine this is where most everybody, including the captain, tends to eat, reserving the captain's galley for, you know, personal snacks and things like that while I'm in my office. We have ketchup with us, so the ship is very safe against plants. And in between, we have another docking carler. This one goes up and out. Presumably, if this was a zero-G environment, you know, you'd be able to stand here and float and or pull your way out, or drift up and use the ladder to climb out. I don't know what these might be used for. Maybe they'll keep spare undersuits, certainly small enough, or helmets or things like that. Moving forward through the habitation deck, we have the tech deck, which includes a few things. First stop, escape pods for the aft crew compartment. There's 3 located here. At the moment they're non-functional, but presumably if we needed to get away from the ship as a result of a soft death or an impending hard death, we could escape in that way. We have an engineering subroom here with more component bays and electronics. And dominating the middle of the ship is the drone operator room. Which is airlocked in its own right. At the moment, these stations are not any more functional than a co-pilot seat up front, as there are no drones in the game yet. But we can theorize that up here we're going to have drone maintenance. We do have an airlock hatch that opens up throughout the top of the reclaimer, which would expose this entire compartment to space, minus this door. I don't know if there's going to be room for 1 or 2 drones there, depending upon how large they are. There might even be room for 4, judging by the clamps that are here in each of the little power connections, so I don't know how big they're going to be. But in theory, yeah, this could roll forward, collect a drone, roll back, launch it, and then the drone controllers could steer it to do drone things if that's searching for cargo, maybe using light scrapers and things like that. Just providing better sensor network. Hard to say. And this is just the other side of that room. Moving forward, staying on this level of the deck, we have the artificial gravity generator. And the emergency service ladder that goes down to the bridge deck. We'll see the bottom of that here in a minute. And on the left side, we have the elevator that goes down to the bridge deck. Sounds good, Trigger. Grab Trigger here real quick.
Hello there.
Hello. All right. Just doing a tour of the ship, so I'm still on Orison. Hopefully you can join my instance. All right.
Looking for Anna's phone too.
So here on the uppermost level, we have the manned turret station. Accessible by service ladder. Let's go ahead and ride it all the way up here real quick.
Oof, joined in time. 94 people.
The moment the ship's power's off and we're inside the station anyway, so there's not a lot that it was going to do, but... is all the way up on top of the ship. Yeah, I don't know with this reset if they reset our reputation too.
Good question.
So we
I'll
might...
check that.
No, I was just gonna, when we get ready to go, I'll look for salvage missions, and if we've got bigger ones, then great, and if we don't, then...
Yep, reset.
Alright. We'll go break a couple smaller ships then real quick. Alright, so now we're on the bridge deck.
I need a party invite when you can do one.
Oh, yeah, should be able to get you on that. Comms. Scrolly, 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 scrolly. Trigger. We have another engineering station. This one looks back into the mulcher on the ship, which is currently decorative. But as you can tell, it does kind of stretch upwards. And it looks like there might be hatches and things that take it up to the salvage hold. Now this is the bottom of the maintenance emergency ladder that goes up to the gravity generator that we saw. And this is the other access point to the ship. It's a single person elevator and airlock forward. So presumably the pilot can board while everybody else is getting in the back of the ship. The central pillar here has 4 stations attached to it. 2 of them are remote gun stations, 2 of them are remote sensor stations. I'm going to get in here and turn on the gun stations.
I hate where the power on, power off is at the moment for those stations.
Yeah, hopefully they fix that, make it make more sense. We have 2 escape pods here, so presumably in their great thinking, they're planning on 3 people being back in the cargo and salvage area and 2 people being in the bridge section here. Realistically, I don't think that's how that would work. Because, well, no, I mean, I guess it could work out that way. Generally speaking, if I'm working any of the salvage equipment, I'm not also flying the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So I could be working a gun while that's going on. We have our 2 salvage operator seats. These control the left and right respective scrapers and tractor beams. We're going to turn the power on for those stations as well.
Personally, I think 3 escape pods there might make more sense. Mainly because of the 2 remote turrets that's on that station as well.
Well, I mean, the thing that makes sense with it is, yeah, you've got the 2 gun stations there, and presumably if we're getting into a fight, I'm not going to leave the ship not flyable.
Mm-hmm. And obviously the tractor beams aren't going to be working, so the 2 that were working now would move to the remote turrets.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 escape pods would make sense.
Yeah, it would. Because otherwise you have to basically either take the ladder or the lift up to the next deck, run all the way down the hall to the tech deck, and join the 3 escape pods that are there.
Yep.
Alright, power's on, engines are off. And then we'll go back to the front here. and talk about this deck. So we have 2 salvage operator stations left and right. Those operate the tractor beams and cutters that we talked about in the front of the ship. And then forward, we have the pilot seat on the left and the claw operator seat on the right. Now, presumably, in their mindset of thinking, if we're doing salvage ops, then these 2 people would pick themselves up and work these 2 stations, also on the bridge. Mostly because if you're salvaging something, you really don't need to move the ship around a lot while you're doing the hull scraping part. And if you're using the claw, you do need to move the ship around a lot, so there's a lot of communication between pilot and claw operator. So they'd be sitting up here in the front while you try and maximize your hull. But again, that giant question mark is if we somehow come under attack and salvage operations cease, if I've got a pilot and 2 people working the remote stations and somebody upstairs working the upper gun, I really don't need three escape pods that far aft. In fact, it would be nicer if instead of having a 1-for-1 ratio of escape pods, if they just added additional escape pods. You know, because what happens if we come under attack and somebody's in the cargo hold, or the salvage hold, shuffling boxes? I mean, I could hit the open all exterior button. Prior to hitting like auto destruct or something, but like the other one is the turret operator. The turret operator's got a long ladder to come down before sprinting down the left-hand side to get to these 3 pods.
Alright, I'm on the ship and up front.
Oh, that's why the elevator went down.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what the hell? I didn't hit the button for that. You ran right past me without me seeing you.
Oh, I came up the front. I figured you were still on the front of the ship, so I pulled the elevator down thinking you were down here.
No, I was, but then I started moving again. That works. Alright, well, let's go break some little things and we'll see about scraping something bigger. See about grabbing a mission here first before we start lifting.
Alright, that's the claw powered on, ready to go.
Really? Microtech L4? It expires in like 40 seconds. I'm not going to Microtech. This ship ain't running out to Microtech.
Mic L4, Arc L1.
It's going to be in orbit around ArcCorp.
Unless we wait for the refresh.
Yeah, I'm going to wait for the refresh. Gateway granted. And here we go, lifting up. The good news is that there's no longer a 2-ton box in your storage there in the engineering section.
Thank God for that.
And I don't have a mystery lamppost or something in the middle of the damn hangar.
Looks like at least bounty rep didn't get reset. That's good.
Yeah, I figured I would just check when we get to orbit.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Also glad that they re-engined her sublight drive. Oh damn, climbing out of here in the old days at 30 meters per second was bad.
Or stalling if you didn't have VTOL on.
Mm-hmm. It's like, you better know how to glide your damn ship, because if you can't do that, you're not hitting the large pad.
Who knew a huge ship in atmosphere could fall like a brick?
All right, we are above Atmo. I'm gonna make the jump to Seraphim. And then we'll look for work.
Actually, I learned that Crusader's planet atmosphere is actually like 500,000 feet.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just lets us jump at 90 for ease of access.
Yeah,
Which is thankful because I do not want to fly that far.
no one does.
I mean, I've done it.
Microtech L4, still the only other one up.
Mine should have refreshed by now. Yeah, Mike L4 and still Arc L1.
Now let's check the map, see what the planetary orbit looks like now. Arc L1,
Mm-hmm.
that's not far, we could do that.
Alright, I'll accept it. Where is it? Link. And sharing.
Got it.
God, that looks pretty.
Oh, Crusader just on the arm right there.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. "11 minutes.
Did you put the upgraded drive in?
Yes.
Huh.
Those have been like 20. Yeah, no, I did that in the paint scheme, because those all reset.
Yeah, I saw all of my Connie's equipment in the inventory. I was like, okay, guess I'm doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go pick up another Agni drive for my Reclaimer, unfortunately.
Well worth the price of admission.
Well, the one I had's disappeared from my inventory. I don't know where it went. I never sold it.
Probably went out with the 2-ton box that was in the engineering section.
You know, that wouldn't surprise me.
I think we'll probably just break the first couple ships we come across. It's not even worth the time it takes to scrape it.
Nope, especially if we have to do a freelancer.
Freelancer wouldn't be bad to scrape. They got a little bit of meat.
I mean, we tried last time. We couldn't get anything off them.
Well, maybe they fixed it in this last update.
You know, from what I was reading, they've nerfed the panels a little bit.
That makes sense.
But it's like someone pointed out, it's not the main focus anymore, so the numbers are back to being normalized.
Mm-hmm.
You'll still get pure RMC off them.
Right. Just you're not going to get as much as that you used to. It's going to be what it was meant for, which is really for the Vulture. The Vulture is meant to go out and salvage tiny ships like this.
Yep.
It'd be nice if they gave you, 2 or 4 SCU boxes. Whatever the largest multiplier is for the hold, rather than singles, but, be what it be.
Yeah. I was reading in chat, apparently before it took about 15 minutes to fill a Vulture's hold. Apparently now it takes half an hour.
Oh, no.
Like, yeah, if you're gonna do panels, that is, that's kind of the deal. I mean, it is a panel. It shouldn't have as much on it in the first place.
No. And really, that's a holdover from the first initial test with salvage, where it's like, well, we need to put something out there. Why don't we put these nutrient-rich things out there?
Mm-hmm.
But finding random panels out in space, that's a nice touch. It's still something that should still be present. I don't think it should disappear, but I feel like starships, salvaging whole ships is the kind of the way to go. And I've described this gameplay loop before, so for the 3 people watching right now, Anna plus whoever else is here, my thoughts on this gameplay loop while we're traveling to ArcCorp to go salvage this ship is that really for me it's going to be a multi-stage process with my crew. We're going to come across a ship, presumably out in the black somewhere, and the first thing that I want to do is send over an away team. Scour the ship. Carve open doors with an oxy cutter. Look in the cargo hold. See if there's any valuable cargoes that are aboard. And look for people. If there's people that need rescued, we can answer a rescue beacon and bring those folks aboard, and presumably, once we can lock interior doors in the ship, keep them in the habitation room, the little dinner lounge.
Mm-hmm.
Just let them hang out in there. Strip them of weapons. But, we're coming here to rescue you, and I'm going to be salvaging your ship in the meantime, because that's how I make money. But in order to make sure that my crew is safe and you're not doing anything hinky or stupid, yeah, we'll pat you down for weapons and take all the tools and implements from you and leave you in a locked room. There's food, there's drinks, you can have those if you need them. And while the away team's doing its thing, we could be doing the scraping, just make sure that we keep clear of doors and common flight paths in and out of the ship, that kind of thing. If there's valuable weapons or other internal components, those can all be stripped out and removed, whatever's useful, and all be sold. Once all that's done, and presumably the ship is scraped, and then we can move up to breaking it and devouring the pieces and then separating the cargo out. And then bring these people back to a station, whatever's more convenient for us. I'm not going to ferry somebody across the galaxy just to get back to their home base if that's convenient for them. Like, you were out in the black and I saved your life. And find your own way back through commercial services and whatever else on these rest and relax stations or wherever we end up going. If it's not out of the way, I could drop somebody off at their home base if it happens to be where we're traveling to or on the way to where we're traveling to. But, broadly speaking, it's kind of a matter of convenience at that point. Like, your ship's lost, you're going to have to file an insurance claim. It's not like you can repair it and make it flight worthy again. And you can have all your weapons and everything else when we get done with the ship. Not looking to withhold that from anybody, especially some of these pieces of gear are very valuable to them.
I can't wait for the engineering gameplay, honestly.
That'll be a fun one. Occasionally going back through the ship and performing maintenance and swapping out components, that kind of deal.
Yeah, because a lot of it is parts are gonna have wear and tear over time,
Mm-hmm. They're gonna need
which means
replaced.
I'm gonna either have to A, repair it, or B, replace it.
I imagine a few of those are going to be replaced with great frequency, like the tractor beam heads and scraper modules, that kind of thing.
Yep.
You know, the stuff we use all the time.
Components wise, it's gonna be a mix between the power plants and the quantum drive.
Hmm. Hopefully they have enough of a useful service life on them, you know, to start with.
Mm.
Because the one thing that I want them to have wear and tear, but at the same time I don't want to make replacing components. Hey, Chief. Something that happens every single time I take the ship out.
I think it'll be down to like grade as well. So obviously, if you've got like a grade A drive, it's the best of its line. It ain't gonna break anytime soon. Or whereas you get something that's more common, that one's probably gonna break faster, if that makes sense.
No, it does. It might also behoove us at some point to, you know, go out and do some work at some stage, depending upon the size of the crew, and maybe forfeit half a share for each person and buy full-fledged replacement parts and store them in the cargo bay.
Not a bad idea.
You know, like, I don't want to get stuck someplace without a quantum drive, so yeah, we should probably have another giant ass cargo or quantum drive sitting in a hold somewhere. So if something does happen and it's not repairable or salvageable or anything else like that, we can just swap the part and at least get from point A to point B.
Yeah, while in quantum, try and fix the other drive while the other drive's working.
Mm-hmm. I am glad that they changed from raw kilometers for all of their units of measurement to actually using the large scale units, like gigameters and megameters and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's taken me a minute to get used to it.
See, for me, it isn't because Elite Dangerous used it. Elite Dangerous used megameters a lot. And then light seconds. Use light seconds as a unit measurement for big distances within system. It's actually near Wide Forest Station. Just waiting on the quantum drive to cool down.
It's rough.
Hmm.
I forgot with it being a major patch, a lot of the cargo we had saved up got wiped.
What cargo? What are you talking about? Like Avengers with
Yeah,
Frost?
me and Chief had some cargo we were saving, but we couldn't sell it because of the planet-side freight elevators just not working.
Hmm.
The terminals just either kept saying loading contents or was stuck on someone's inventory, so it wouldn't budge. And because of it being a major patch update, all of that cargo has been wiped, so now we can't sell it at all.
Boo. I feel that though. There've been a couple of times where for whatever reason it's glitched with the reclaimer and I lost a hold's worth of salvage.
Yeah, I think we had close to nearly 6 million, maybe more, worth of
4.4 is
cargo.
4.4 in Weevil eggs is what Chief just wrote.
Yeah, it's. I think Chief had that. I think I had about 2 mil. That freaking sucks. Like, I was on nearly every day trying to get down to a working terminal so I could message everybody and be like, hey, we can do this now, but no.
I'm glad that didn't hit us at all when we're doing salvage.
Every other freight elevator works, par the planet side ones. Or at least at the breaker yards. Good question, Chief. I haven't actually gone yet.
It's
Um,
it's literally what this patch was about, was fixing that.
yeah, from what I read, it did say landing zone freight elevator should no longer get stuck on loading content. So hopefully, that means it's fixed.
Look, we all know at the end of the day that even if we come out here with hundreds of millions of AUEC, it's all going to get wiped someday to
Yep.
absolute zero.
Alright, which is why I don't get too upset about it, because at the end of the day, I know once, 1.0 hits, that's it. Everything's getting wiped.
Mm-hmm.
Every component you've bought, every ship you've bought, it's gonna go.
Going SCM guns.
I'll deploy the claw once we're a bit closer.
We're about 1 kilometer now. $150 meters. 100 meters. Station keeping.
In range for fracture.
Yeah, no, during the alpha phase, they'll wipe less than what they have before.
Alright, get us slightly closer.
I don't even know if I want that in my hold, but yeah.
Almost in the blue. We're in the blue. 3%. Slightly closer. There. Perfect. Alright, arm retracting. Let's see.
17 offers. There we go. There's some 20,000s.
Oh, you're starting to get the rep now.
Yeah.
Oh, so they fixed it, finally.
Scorpius Antares. Titan Renegade.
I got a Crusader Ares.
Ares Saber. Scorpius. I'm not sure which of these would be the, let's do the Ares.
You got one as well, or is it mine?
Her
It's
L.
her L3.
Yeah, it's a her L3. I'll pay the fee. I got it.
All right,
Sharing.
accepted.
Laying a course. Oh, good. That's right in the neighborhood of Crusaders. That's most of the way home. Routing. Route complete. Nav quantum. Backing up just a bit in case there's remnants of that little shitty fighter that still present. ETA 10 minutes. I'll have myself a snack. And for the immersions, I'll go back to the galley to do that. Look, I'd be more than happy to go put in a grade A quantum drive on the ship if I had a fuel tank that just would not be obliterated by the fact that I used it.
One jump and 50% goes poof.
That's the way it was, actually. Kind of terrifying.
Mm-hmm. If I remember correctly, on the best drive, you would only get roughly 90 GM out of it. That's practically one jump.
Yeah, no, it was a serious fuel concern the last time I was doing this.
Like, it's really bad how much the Reclaimer needs its fuel increased.
Sig forgo a lot of things, like, you know, my ability to dock with rest and relax stations, like other extra large ships can. The Reclaimer's an old ship. It's definitely a first generation CI. It was the poster child CIG big ship before they released the Hammerhead.
Which even then, the Reclaimer's still bigger than.
Well, yeah, but they're different purposes too. Like the Hammerhead is all
Yep.
about, you know, I got a crew of Marines and everything else on board, and we're going to come and destroy fighters for a living. A bunch of manned turrets that all have big guns on them. Did I miss anything?
Nope.
Yeah, but it's got a docking port that it can utilize with those stations.
I'll be glad when it gets its gold standard pass.
It really needs it. You know, I know that the pledges and everything else were you know, the main means of making money for a lot of this, really kind of driving things forward. No, I know it's not working right now. I'm saying it needs to. it needs to, and I need an ability to dock my reclaimer at those stations, because everything that I have and feel about this ship, it's not one that is planetary bound. Like, yeah, if that's the best place to sell off all of my materials, I'll go make the trip. But I should be able to dock at and refuel at an R&R station. No, I get that. That's par for the course there for CIG. Make something new, break everything else. Honestly, it's how a lot of games and patching and everything else works, so not really surprised. But there's no reason why my ship shouldn't be able to at least stop and get fuel and things from those stations, or be able to transfer my crew. Even if what we have to do is park someplace and travel through like a personal airlock rather than through a station airlock for docking a ship. Oh, you mean like how the Reclaimer was for the initial salvage update? It's like, oh, we're going to release this Vulture. It's going to be great. It's a small ship. It can do the salvage mission. There's little things that the small ship salvage mission can do. What about the Reclaimer? The what? Oh god, guys, did you know we had a ship that was big and used for salvage? Like, we can't even work with the refueler to get gas. Because the refueling port for the Reclaimer is non-functional. I'd have to want to fly down to one and touch base on it. And honestly, the ship really doesn't have any business traveling down there and doing package deliveries like I'd be in a Freelancer or a C1.
I'm pretty sure you can fit the Reclaimer on one of those no ATC pads. Tight fit, but should fit.
Mm-hmm. Do the R&Rs have those?
Yeah, they all have it.
Well, maybe when we come back and end up at Seraphim, we'll try it real quick.
They added them so players could just come, land, rearm, refuel, do what needed, and then get back out, as opposed to calling for a hangar all the time.
Cool. I must have missed that update. Yeah, we'll give it a try. Now we might even do it here at Crew L3. After we mulch this ship. It might be big enough, it might be worth scraping.
Well, we shall soon see.
The 20,000 ones tend to be. Plus the RMC is more valuable than the construction materials by a long shot, so... I like how these chairs are one social distancing distance apart.
Even
2.1
though we
meters.
wear helmets.
Mm-hmm. Look, you can never be too careful.
You're not wrong.
Okay, almost there. You're not wrong, Chief. Not wrong at all. L3, Thundering Express. It's less a question of whether or not they were taught and more a question of whether or not they care to actually follow through. Honestly, I wish I could do a quick microburst for distances over 100 kilometers. Know what I mean? A lot of random little clouds here. "19 kilometers. Just pop the top on a Pips.
Maybe.
Teach you to buy some better hydrating drinks.
Nothing wrong with having a zesty drink every now and then.
Now remember that when you're like, oh my god, my Hydra's down to 50%. What do? I'll be like, yeah, this crew's Lux. Or this crew's Dark.
To be fair, it was bought in quickness. Alright, were you scraping it or just clawing?
Yeah, no, we'll scrape it. We're inside of 80 meters. Station keeping,
Are we
SEM
in?
guns, and getting out of the
There we
chair.
go. Oh, whoops.
Oops.
Yep, I did the same thing.
Come back here, you. Without irony, I do kind of need to move it down a little bit.
Yeah, go for it.
We'll scrape this first. Without irony, even that tiny amount of RMC that's in there right now is going to pay for this trip.
Yep.
Perhaps not the purchase price for a mission. That might be, take a little more. No, I'm going to flip it.
Yeah, go for it. I'm only seeing little spots right now.
Oh hell, looks like we managed to break through it. Like this half of the ship even is already mostly done. I believe we have plucked all of the meat off of the bone. Stations were breaking.
I'm actually still picking some off. I don't think that percentage is correct. I'm starting to see the underside now.
Well, let's go ahead and break it so we can test this thing out and see if we get a better mission.
Yep.
Argo raft. Freelancer at her L1.
Nose down a little. There. And closer. We're at minus 15 right now. Nose down 2 degrees. Keep going. Hold. It's all of them.
All right. What kind of buffet do you have on offer there for us, Chief?
Hey, that's the 50,000 ones unlocked. I do not have any good ones.
I don't either, but we're going to try this refueling on the pad thing. And we're going to kill this bot.
Ooh, chief with an ERT? Hell yes. That is indeed a buffet.
Yeah, we can do that. How's the station? There it is.
Thundering Station. You're better off just typing it in the search location, it's so much easier.
You're probably right.
It's up.
Well, see, this will let me jump 63.3 kilometers with the quantum drive. But it wouldn't let me jump out to the other way. We'll try this quick refuel here, and then we'll make our way to Crusader. Make sure I'm not going to hit anything. Station, other people's ships, weapons, platforms, very small rocks. Alright, so where is one of these mystery pads?
Right off the nose. To the right.
Looks
See
like
them?
where all of the other platforms are.
You got 2 big ones, 2 small ones.
Man, I wish I had an Arma ping for this.
Yeah, it's just right in front of you.
Well, I know those hangars all open up too, is the thing.
No, you literally nosing onto a pad right now.
Like this one right
Those
here?
are the pads right there. Yeah.
Interesting. Alright, slowing down.
You got 2 small ones and 2 like large-ish. That's why we said you may be able to fit on it, depending on the angle. You still got a ways to go.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to orient the third-person camera because without any kind of fixtures, I might be too wide.
Might be better off sideways facing, I think. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Looking good, looking good.
Touchdown.
Yep, there we go.
Hey, that works. Alright. What a day brightener.
Now you can re-on refuel without having to go all the way down to a planet.
Presumably I could disembark the ship here too and enter the station.
Mm,
Maybe. It's hard to
yeah,
tell.
you could.
Is
But
that-
I would get on. What I would do is get off facing towards the ship when that elevator goes down, not the other way. Are you gonna fall off into space?
Well, I mean, what I would end up doing is probably refloating it, maybe. Because I wouldn't want to sit on the pad, is the thing. Because that would prohibit other people from being able to use it. So I would, drift the reclaimer like underneath the pad someplace or off to the side, someplace out of the way. And then, EVA to it. Alright, Crusader's not far. Here we go, lifting up. You sure can, Chief. See if Chief's in the Discord room. Not yet. That's really cool then that we can use those platforms, because that was always my one hang up. I mean, I still can't store the ship there, which is unfortunate.
But at least you can get fuel.
Yeah. And it's far easier doing that in space than what it is doing that in Atmo. Morning, Frost. Okay.
That's always appreciated.
Welcome, Chief. Yeah, sure.
Gonna be doing an ERT, so another pair of hands would indeed be valuable.
Go ahead and head up to the upper gun turret.
Going up.
$500 missiles.
$500 missiles later. Still gonna let you do ERTs after the reset?
Mm-hmm.
I've still
I've still got my bounty rep.
Hopefully didn't do a rep. Nah, I didn't.
Yeah, I checked my bounty rep earlier because I was gonna message you if they had reset it, but they didn't.
I wonder. Actually, let's see this. Go contracts. I have to do the certs. I don't have to do the certs anymore. That's nice. Okay. Let me get a contract now so you guys can head that way. Just take me off the person. Versus. That's not gonna work.
Okay, where's my OM point there, game? There we go. I just had to reroute to it.
Did we get a mission share here?
I'm
did it-
waiting for it to cycle. It's on Daymar right now. No good for salvaging if it's on Daymar.
Ah.
No, that's all right. With the update that they have, you'll have to reset your place anyway. No, I see.
Yeah, I was asleep when the update got pushed.
Hmm.
So I only saw it when I woke up, hence my message is when I woke up.
The frozen moon of Yila. Home of such exotic places like Grimhex. I do like that you can peek into the crew windows with the external view.
Yeah, T's in a reclaimer. This is a first.
They weren't here the other night when we were doing them. I followed them in and got the front remote station turret bloody.
Well, I mean, it's got the weapons for it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I had to wait for it to like fly within range and then light it up, but worked.
Yeah, I've been doing it in Connie with the M7s. God damn, they pack a punch.
Okay, so we're just waiting on Chief and a mission.
I'm gonna take a quick restroom break. Be right back.
Hope one of you can see me. Well, I can share the mission. I see him in a cave on Daymar. I don't want on Daymar.
I want them in the asteroid belt.
Yeah, exactly. Wonder if I can force it to recycle. Stupid.
And I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
We're still just floating along in lunar stationary orbit.
Ba-dum.
There we go. Sharing.
Got it.
Accepted.
That's a good trick. I can get the mission to cycle by just jumping 2 gigamiles outside of Crusader and back in. I'll be there in a jiff.
Oh, I'm tracking the wrong mission. It's tracking Call to Arms. It's like, why don't I have a point for it? Hunter, ERT, track.
I hope one of you can see it because I have like no markers whatsoever for anyone
Yeah.
right now.
I can see it.
Cool.
It's fine, Chief. I've got no markers for anybody either. I have no idea why.
It's been a bug. I was hoping this .1 update would fix it, and it clearly has not.
Oh yeah, because isn't that the reason you and Frost kind of put me as pod lead to see if that would fix it?
Yes.
Uh,
It's been a very consistent problem between me and Frost. Sometimes one of us can see the other, but it's usually right now none both of us can see each other. It's very annoying.
yeah, I can't see anybody right now. I can see the mission marker at least.
Yep, I'm waiting to jump to the mission marker. Figured to let
I'm
you go in
already
there
there.
first. Oh, great.
Um,
Moving in.
Yep, got eyes on Chief.
Yep, 16 kilometers out in front of us.
there's
Connie Andrew, Chief?
yeah. I use this now since 600 I scuffed as hell.
Oof.
Eric, Starfarer. Oh yeah, this is easy. I'll get to work. Oh, I hope you guys are okay with cannibalism. There's a... No, actually, that's an 890 jump. I thought there was a reclaimer. Wait, is there a reclaimer? No, I was locking you guys. There's an 890, a cake. Where's the,
No, good lord. Gonna feast.
Starfarer? What's this?
890 feast. Ooh.
There's the mission targets.
No, you're right, Chief. There's a reclaimer out there.
Is there? I just couldn't lock him.
Yeah, there's 5 enemy contacts.
Oh yeah, there's a reclaimer. Wait, there's a reclaimer, Carrick, 890 in Starfarer. What the fuck?
Yep, seeing the 890, the
No,
Carrick.
he's booking it. I think
Starfarer.
is it the 890 as the mission target?
The
yeah.
Maxwell Flex Eisner.
Yeah, he's
SCM
the
guns.
890. Which target we going for here?
Whatever Chief shoots at.
You guys just shoot whatever you can. I mean, they're all not very threatening. Killing the Starfarer first just because it's smallest and take the least time.
Yeah, we'll move in and help you with it.
Soft death on the Starfarer.
I see the reclaimer.
Alright, I am going for...
Focus that reclaimer.
Carrick. The Carrick next, probably.
Eyes are on it. Just
Oh,
out of
wait,
range.
wait. Carrick. Carrick to the left.
Yeah, I'm just going on that. Oh my god. Is this 600? No, that is an 890. I'm just going on level of dangerousness here. The Carrick does have the most turrets.
Yep.
Back shields are down. Oh. That's not something you see every day, a fucking reclaimer in combat mode. He's going in, that's funny.
Are we getting hit?
Yeah, you're getting hit in the
Yeah.
ass by the, I think the 890, the reclaimer. Remember, that AI reclaimer does have all those turrets, man. Soft death, stop shooting. Nice. Alright, let's,
Resting away from the fight.
Enemy reclaimer definitely has more turrets than the 890.
It's ridiculous.
I love this. I had gimbal mode turned on by accident.
How many rattlers does it take to get this in there of a reclaimer? Alright, moving in.
Is he down?
No, he's not done. He, it'll, when it's soft death, there'll be a small explosion and his name will disappear. It'll turn into like the MS name or whatever.
Yeah, you lose target as well.
Trying to not run
Guns
into you
reloading?
guys. We keep doing this stuff, I'm gonna have to combat load out your reclaimer because those Panthers are poopy. Not Galdarines, yeah, they're poopy. Oh yeah, soft death?
Good work.
Alright, 890 time. He's coming towards us. It's gonna take a while to kill him. So I'm gonna start just...
I've spent a lot of time in a hammerhead's turrets. Can you tell? Weapon recharging.
Stay in his baffles.
Try your best. For whatever reason, the AI 890s in this mission turn ridiculously fast. Like, faster than anyone actually flying an 890 would be able to.
Yeah,
It's
I've
kind of like
flown that
DCS where the AI
thing.
flight models just kind of go like,
Yeah,
burger.
I've flown that thing, and that thing does not turn like that.
He's whipping it around. Look at this guy. Flex. He's definitely flexing something. I think the shield's already down though.
I sincerely hope so after all this nonsense. I see you, Frost, just a little busy with the fight.
Weapons recharging. 200. 300.
I gotta get his. Man, give me the back shields. Come on. Whoa, that's a big honking rock. What's up, brother? Trying to focus his back shields. He's giving me a side right now. That's annoying because his back shields are the one that are
Alan,
actually
what's our
low.
current capacitor settings right now?
Well, you know, here in a second. No, I don't want to open the exterior.
Give him like 42, 42 in the shields, and then take it from thrusters. And give him a lot more to work with.
We're 50, 25, 25 for weapons.
That
Yeah,
sounds
you don't really need the thrusters at the moment. Thrusters is just a recharge for the boost.
Yeah,
You can put more towards shields.
the fire triangle you always take from thrusters because it doesn't actually affect your ship's performance. It just affects boost recharge.
It's not letting me change it at the moment, so we're just going to have to write it out as is.
Come on! Oh my god! Oh, fucking worst part about 89 is just how long it takes. His back shields are okay. His back shields are finally down. I'm firing to keep them off.
We got it.
Yeah. Shooting his engines.
Maneuvering to stay in his ass.
Weapon
I'm
recharge.
also staying in his ass. Come on, brother. Die, die, die. You're a luxury pilot no longer. Get the fuck out of here. Soft death?
All right.
Excellent. Okay, so 890 Carrick, Reclaimer, and Starfarer. Take your fucking cake.
And we're going to start with the 890. Actually, let me
Alright,
start
coming
with
down on the turret.
I'm gonna scan all of them real quick.
Gotta say, his Goldarines aren't as bad as I first thought they would be.
They're
Well,
not.
It's
They're
a
not
side.
bad, but if we're gonna be shooting at big ships like this, we gotta get some cannons on that turret.
Yeah.
Oh, 890 is empty of cargo. I'm gonna go check the other ones.
Stations for salvage operations.
This is where your away team would be perfect here, pal.
Mm-hmm. So we would search through there and look for people to rescue and or put down. You know, I don't know how the case might go.
Hey, if you want any cool armor, there's like a couple bodies on that ship. That was stuff I'm wearing. It's pretty cool. I always use the armor of my enemies as disposable armor.
Get us a bit close, pal. We are just out of range.
Is that?
Nose up.
Can you
there.
move Frost now?
There.
Yep, I can. Just a second. Well, he's in the party, but he's not in the server.
Frost, join the Lumbub server. Lumbub, the Discord server. Starfarer is empty. I'll scan the reclaimer for shiggles, but it's probably empty as well. I've never once seen them actually be loaded with cargo on these machines.
Reclaimer on reclaimer violence.
That was kind of surreal. I was just kind of weaving in and out, and then seeing a reclaimer go attack vectors on the fucking, was it the character or something? That's hysterical.
Mm-hmm. Come back here, I want to eat your ship.
Alright. That's empty too. I'm gonna go check the Carrack. If there's 52 SU on the Carrack, I'm going to cry.
Oh god, don't say that because we can't get the bugger out.
Yeah. Real. Yeah, Frost, get in the green room. The VC. And I'll move you.
Boop. Hello.
Okay. Good morning.
Alright. We got really good with it. Okay. I mean, no cargo at all on any of these ships, but at least we get really good rolls for the chorus. That's all that matters.
I'm loading the Atlas into the M2 now. It spawned me at Lorville for some reason, even though I landed at Seraphim last night specifically to avoid being at Lorville. So I had to wait for my insurance claim on the M2.
Some of these are spread out by like tens of kilometers. You want to do some rescanning, but yeah, it should be Starfarer Carrack 890 Reclaimer.
It's a lot easier to do when I don't have to park somewhere and then hope for the ship to wander into range. Shields held though. I don't think Corey took any internal damage.
Doesn't look like it. None of them shot you besides that one pass where the enemy Reclaimer started shooting all its remote turrets at you. And even then it would have never pierced the shields. It was only size 3.
Yeah, I think that's a little dumb that they can activate all 6 remote turrets at once. You used to be able to do that with the Reclaimer.
You know, they've added, on a lot of ships, they added this feature where seats that have multiple remote turrets can actually hot swap with A and D now. I haven't tested that on the Reclaimer yet, but I wonder if that's a thing.
It works.
Yeah, you can.
It works.
on the M2, so
Yeah, but as Plum describes, you should be able to just aim at something.
You
and
should
have
be able
multiple
to.
turrets fire
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
play them to it.
It
Well,
should be like a B-29.
Yeah, exactly. It should be like a B-29's radar directed gun station where you just kind of have a central gun operator spot and you just point it in their direction and go, I want all the machine guns to shoot here.
But that doesn't work in game balance, guys.
Well, the thing is when the Reclaimer first came out, you could control which turret you were looking through, and then any gun turret that could track to that station would shoot at it.
Because that makes sense.
You know, especially if you've only got 2 remote gun stations, and they're divided amongst 3 turrets in one half of the ship and 3 turrets on the other. Like,
Yeah, as long as the arc of fire overlaps, you should be able to.
you should be able to target and drill something.
But guys, this is the far future. That technology doesn't exist, right? Totally doesn't exist in modern day.
I would contend that something that existed in the 40s would probably be still extant here.
Right? You would think.
But the gameplay and balance, buddy, if you're bringing a Reclaimer into a gunfight, you already have other problems.
Yeah.
The
Luckily, I don't have a single marker.
I mean, it wouldn't be imbalanced in the slightest, actually. As someone who's obviously been invested in the combat and Star Citizen, they wouldn't really break anything besides it allowing it to actually defend itself against small aircraft.
Which is the point. That's the whole reason why those size 3s are there.
That's
It's not.
why
It's
those size 3s aren't going to. You're not going to go up against any military ship ever. It would be just because you can use a couple extra size 3s on your remote stations.
Mm-hmm. Now, that's the point of those turrets, is to deal with, you know, the occasional snub fighter pirate who wants to row his boat up next to your cruise liner and, you know,
Yeah, exactly. It's not fighting time.
take a shot at you. You know,
Arg.
Arg, matey.
Arg, matey.
anybody that's coming up with serious firepower to threaten the Reclaimer should probably make like a tree and leave. Or have friends, you know. More dangerous ships on the escort would absolutely make a difference.
Valuable friends in high places. Or low places, depending on how you look at it.
But if Corey was out on her own doing things, and some little tryhard decides, oh, it's a Reclaimer, I'm just going to go up here and punch its ticket with some torpedoes real quick. A fully manned ship should be able to adequately defend itself from that.
Hammerhead thinks it's got an easy target. Suddenly, Polaris jumps in to defend the Reclaimer.
Yeah, epic time.
The Reclaimers in this game don't have escorts, right? Pulls up Polaris is like in the shadow.
Nice.
It's just a silhouette in the horizon.
2 seconds later, a bunch of missiles come from the Polaris towards the Hammerhead. Well, shit.
I see you'd like to
Literally
donate your
what's
RMC to the cause.
And whatever gear you have on you. Yeah.
Need your RMC, your construction materials, your boots, and your motorcycle.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm excited for that to come up and maybe be a daily driver, depending on. Obviously, it's going to be very large and a daily driver, but I'm used to that, so whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the big thing with a lot of these ships, and we've talked about this one before, across multiple people, multiple platforms, is sheer crew size.
Yeah.
Crew size is the problem. You know, to manage something that big, you've got to have a bunch of folks that are on looking to do exactly that kind of work, which is, you know, not bad. People who invest that kind of things in the Star Citizen probably want to do that for that reason.
The benefit of Polaris, though, is that it has a hangar and a cargo bay and good shields and a medical bay, so it's, you know, it's basically a Carrack, just bigger and more well defended.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, exactly it.
And
And
used
it'll have
the
a
Carrack
working
for
cargo bay.
years. Yeah. I used the Carrack for years as my daily driver. So, if I could deal with that piece of shit, then, you know.
Nope, Chief left.
I have to go deliver this package of the Moza base to this UPS store. It closes in 25 minutes, so I'll be back.
That makes sense.
Okey-doke.
Let's see how we're looking for time here on the stream. Oh, we got about 45 minutes. I may opt to do the auto unload thing.
I'm bringing the Atlas along too, so that'll speed it up. But
It would, but I've got to, you know, take care of some car things here this afternoon too.
okay, yeah, no worries.
So once we get done with the usual stream time, I'll probably just fly it back. And if I don't unload it immediately, either have them just automatically do it for the little sum of money, or just keep it on board the ship or whatever.
Yeah, I've actually had some pretty good reliability with keeping cargo on ships, especially against its hangars.
Mhm.
So,
Oh, so they finally fixed it.
I wouldn't say fixed, but it's been reliable so far.
That's alright then.
Fixed implies a state of permanency that just does not exist
Yeah.
in Star Citizen.
Exactly.
not
Exactly.
wrong.
Welcome back, Anna.
I mean, it's like when I keep seeing people complain about the state of the game, and it's like, dude, years ago we had a hangar that all we could do was walk around and explore the ship. That was it.
Yeah, but on the other hand, it has been a very long development cycle, and there's a lot of things that have not been fixed in lieu of making something new.
But on the same token, with the scope of the game, I can't fault it too much.
The thing that I look at, and this is, I'm glad we're having this discussion live on air, which is nice. things like Grand Theft Auto 6.
Oh yeah, that game has been in development for fucking 12 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They've spent $1 billion on it. It's still in development. It's still cruising along. It will at some point come out. And this is another game that, you know, I haven't looked into the details, so I don't know about like multiplayer capabilities and things like that. But by and large, it's a similar sort of scope of like GTA 5. It's just bigger and flashier and nicer and has better cutscenes and acting and mocap and things of that sort. Things that do take time to get right. And, you know, probably a handful of additional new features and things of that sort. You know? But even a game like that,
For sure, folks.
right, even a game like that has taken 10 years in the development cycle plus to get to this stage where it's at now, where it's getting closer to release. You know, Elder Scrolls 6 has been in development for a very long time.
Don't go there with that one.
Well, it fits the
I mean,
mold,
it's
though.
true.
It does, but
You know, because they've got their focus on some of their other projects that are still currently being supported.
Yeah, like Skyrim.
Right.
For the 12th time.
Mm-hmm. But
new
then
Skyrim release for the PS5 Pro with enhanced graphics.
But then you look at Star Citizen, right? And we're on 3.24.1 now for an update. They're looking to be at 4.0 for the end of the year. We've got salvage that functions. It still needs more work, but it does function. We have ground combat that is not as jittery as it was in the beginning. Not as finicky.
Oh god, yeah. When we
Never
were
as
doing
jittery as
those
it was
missions,
6
that
months
was
ago.
smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, like me and Palom took the carrick down with the Ursa rover, and we were like, I think I told you this, Frost, actually.
Yeah.
We landed. Obviously, Palom was, you know, driving the Ursa. I was running down. It was smooth. We had no problems.
The only problem we
whatsoever.
had was when the box fell out of the Ursa.
Yeah. Which I think was a physics engine issue, because there's no way that should have fell out.
Yeah, no, it glitched
And
through
the-
the floor while we were on a
And
heavy
the other
turn.
issue we had was you couldn't treat my injury in the Carrick's medbay.
Yes,
If it was a tier 3, then yeah, no.
I think
Yeah,
it was a tier 3
was a
injury.
tier
So
three,
it was
yeah.
a matter of the engineer
Theirs
was
was
too
a
severe.
Tier 2 medbay. They nerfed it.
Oh, they did. I didn't know that. Oh well, that explains that.
every mobile medbay is now a tier 2. I think except for maybe the nurses. I think they missed that one. Unless they patched it since. But everyone is now a tier 2, and tier 3s can only be solved at like station medbays.
Yeah, but no. In terms of gameplay, the ground combat's much more smoother. AI's more responsive. You can hear them shouting at you. If you stop firing and hide, they will actually actively try and find you.
A lot of that has to do with server status as well. But
Right, but a lot of
which
that
I think
Yeah.
they've been a lot more stable. So
it comes from the server meshing that they've been working on and had a lot of difficulties in perfecting. Like the technology and the code just wasn't done, so they had to write all of that from scratch. The other major thing, and people forget about this one a lot too, is the impact of Squadron 42.
oh, it's incredible. Every update since they've announced it's in the polishing stage is a bit of banger. Every single one.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it's because Squadron 42 was taking resources and overlapping in a lot of ways with Star Citizen proper for the persistent universe stuff. So it wasn't until they got that point to a project point where it's okay, we're in the polish phase, we're just doing cleanup and making it look 1000% sharp, because if we don't get this one right the first time, people are going to crucify us, and rightly so, given the development time. But now that those resources are free, you don't have those people coding that kind of stuff. They're taking all of that stuff, which, by and large, these are the same sort of game. They're set in the same universe. They have the same design language. They have a lot of the same ships. You know, I recall the hour-long gameplay video where we got to see Liam Cunningham and Mark Hamill and a little bit of Gillian Anderson doing their roles. as
Forgot
NPCs.
about that. Yeah.
And there's a reclaimer in that one. Well, there's a reclaimer here.
Mm.
You know, so there's a lot of things from the two games that translate back and forth. And as they finish things up with one and go to the other, like the whole inner thought process, right? Like that used to be a big deal for Star Citizen.
Hmm.
And it's not anymore. There's very few ships, entities, and other objects that use inner thought. A lot of the button panels are working correctly now. Like there's a lot of technology that they have had to develop from the ground up, and there's a lot of things that they went, okay, this works, and then went, no, this is really kind of an interim process. This isn't working the way that we want it to, so we got to go back and fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention 2 engine changes since they started.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, I can't remember what engine they were on. Then they changed to Amazon's Lumberyard, and then now they're working on their own. Finally. The Star engine, if I remember, is what the name they gave it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's the name, yeah.
So, you know, it's one thing to sit there and criticize them for, you know, a greater than 10-year development time, but then it's another one to look at the scope and see what they've accomplished so far. You know, look at something like World of Warcraft.
Oh god, yeah.
A game that is 20 years old, and for all functional purposes is still operating on the same engine. It was an engine that had suffered so much from its age that during the release, I think it was Cataclysm, it's about when I stopped playing.
Yeah, they upgraded it.
They not only upgraded it, but they had to go back through and dumb down numbers, because the problem they were running into was that the millions of points of damage and everything else was causing latency issues.
Yeah, the great number squish of Cataclysm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know, so
Suddenly log onto your character to see that your character's not doing millions of heals or millions of damage.
What the hell? Yeah.
What? What?
But
My gear.
But I had 3.5 million hit points yesterday. What happened? Well, numbers got changed.
Now I'm down to 50k.
I remember when that happened in Final Fantasy 2, and I was like, I was
Yeah.
being a tank with 300,000 health, and now I have like my highest number with best in slot gear is 90,000 with food buffs. I'm like, what happened? What?
All right, I'm gonna side slip the ship a little bit.
Okie dokie. But no, anytime we get onto like the conversation of Star Citizen's development time, I instantly look at the scope of where it was to where it is now, and you can see the difference.
Yeah. Now, are there still problems like me just now getting into this chair and having it do like a weird thing through the floor and everything else? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay, so it's not just me that's experiencing
No, it
that.
also does that in the M2 this patch as well. It's a new bug with this patch,
But
which I mean, it's harmless, but still.
like,
Yeah, it's harmless, but it's a bit weird.
right. Yeah, especially when I'm doing things in first person, and my first fervent fear and thought is I just fell through the floor and I'm getting ready to fall through the ship.
Yep. All right, let's see if I can find you guys. So I don't have markers.
Now, you should be able to find us in F2, I think.
Don't have markers for you, so no.
Wait, really? F2 doesn't have markers either?
Correct.
Ah, that's...
But it is one of those things where it is a big deal, and it is a factor, and it is a thing that, yeah, the game has developed a very long time, a laughably long time. The other thing that people tend to forget a lot about Star Citizen is that they promised from the beginning to be transparent throughout the process. So yeah,
Which they actually have.
it
For the most
is-
part.
For the most part, you know, there are some things that have been super sneaky with them, and I'm not going to give them a free pass for everything. But think about Bethesda. What have we heard about Elder Scrolls 6 in 10 years? They've got a trailer video that is several years old now with no product. No hints about where it's going to take place. We still don't know where it's going to take place. We can guess. You know, especially if you look at Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim, where the Roman numerals themselves for each game form part of the words for the main title. but we're not for sure. And even the screenshot that they provided and the trailer that they provided shows an area that could be anywhere in High Rock, which they've already done with Elder Scrolls 2. It could be Northern Hammerfell. It could be, you know, parts of just about anywhere. Even Valenwood, which would be interesting.
There was a name that just came to me there as we were mentioning, and I've lost it.
Possibly even elsewhere.
That's the one.
You know, because especially with the popularity of the Khajiit people, you know, in the game and everything else, like Elsewhere is a very real place that's got enough mystery and mystique and weird things about it that, you know, could be a place to go to. Bring us around to the other side.
Yep, 1 sec. I'm on the edge here. Almost got it. Alright, it's at 0.
A random elevator marker here, I wonder.
Are we? There's still the side at the back pile I'm on the top to do.
Yeah, I see it. We'll get round to
Trigger,
it.
can you do me a favor and look at your F2 and see where over yellow you are?
Yeah, while Palm's moving the ship, I'll do that. Let's see.
Might give me the ability to find you.
Deacon's Research Outpost.
Are you pretty close to like directly over it?
Almost.
Cool.
Almost.
That'll narrow down the search a lot.
How's that for distance trigger?
1 sec, let me get back in the turret. Lower down. Whole ship move down. There, come left. Hold. Nose up 1 degree. Yeah, that's perfect.
Changing seats.
Do you want me to try a party, see if I can get names popping up?
Do you?
Well, anything to make it work. How do we leave party again? Alright, so if we leave group, go to friends, invite, invite. Let's see if that works. Any markers or no?
Negative.
Ugh.
And then there's
That's
little things like
horrible.
that just kind of, you know, I don't want to say borderline inexcusable, because surely there's a piece of code there that's just not working the way it's supposed to, but
But also, man, it's real inconvenient, to say the least.
Absolutely, yeah.
Are you guys next to like one of the big asteroids with like the red markers on them at all? So I see one of those.
Good question.
I see 2 of them actually. 3 of them. Okay, maybe that doesn't narrow down very much.
Looking. No.
Okay.
so yeah, you know, when we look at other gaming development companies that are putting out large-scale projects, there's a lot of mystery as to what's going on. And in some cases, perhaps a redesign, especially with how poorly received Starfield was. I remember the
definitely.
the video game awards where there's Todd sitting there in the crowd looking all pouty and sad as Baldur's Gate 3 wins everything.
That was quite satisfying.
Shock and surprise, you can't just release Space Rim and hope that it's going to be the big thing that you were looking for.
Guys, it's the most ambitious game ever made.
I mean, even Elite Dangerous, right? Like, Elite Dangerous has been out for a while, and the Odyssey expansion that they put out most recently for the foot game, it added some interesting elements. I like the foot game in that one. And has its own interesting challenges and all of that. But it's still extremely glitchy. Which, compared to the rest of the game, when it's actually really smooth for what it is, creates its own problems.
The only thing I didn't like about that's the transition from ship to FPS.
Oh, yeah. Or the whole, like, just fade to black and then you're outside the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no interior walking around the ship, despite some of them being large enough to have it.
Even though the concept art showed a lot of the ships having interiors.
Mm-hmm. Or here's an even fun one too, right? Like, when you join a crew, it's a telepresence. In most
Yep.
cases. So it's a hologram. It's not actually you being on the ship in some ways. You know, unless you physically walk onto it with like inside of a station.
That expansion could have been done so much better.
Mm-hmm. But they came right out and said from the beginning, like, there's not going to be a ship interior. It's like, you really missed the wagon here with the whole what we want to see from being able to be on foot.
You mean a space game where I can't walk around my spaceship? It's like half the equation, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can walk around the stations, and even if the stations are kind of samey, like, let's think realistically for a minute about space station design. What's the most efficient way to build one? They're not all going to be individualized. You're going to have a basic module or 3 for a small, medium, and a large, and boom. Clamp module to hull.
I mean, just like fucking Star Citizen. The
Mhm.
fun part is walking around the ships that we own. That's the fun part.
Mm-hmm.
It's not walking around the station. I don't care about the station.
The station,
Sometimes, like, the refineries are cool. But, like,
God bless Port Ollie.
like the stations are a place where I'm looking to do business of one type or another. Like, I'm either going to go to a bar and hang out and catch rumors, or I'm going to go to the various facilities and do cargo-related things, or refinery things, or ship repair, what have you,
Deliveries.
or food, basic things. Like, I need a bite to eat, so I'm here, taking 485 space bucks for space gas or food, lunch gas, and tolls. Doesn't have to be super fancy. They don't all have to be unique, other than, like, I'd like a nameplate on the side of the station somewhere and in some of the corridors to tell me where I'm at.
Yeah, like most of the R&Rs, the interior is about the same. The only difference is
Layout, specific to
yeah.
where it is and what needs that station provides.
Yep.
But they're all pretty modular. You can tell where the seams of one match the seams of the other.
yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, realistically, you're not going to get things that's all unique and different.
Me and Chief actually made a trip to the Pyro Gateway yesterday, and it was very pretty, but the station was the same.
Which is fine.
Yeah, it was fine. Which I was surprised to find out and discover that it had a cargo deck and a refinery. That was weird, but
Well, I mean, it's a major jump point. That kind of makes sense.
which makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense, but I just didn't think about it before. But like, it's super pretty. You can see like the nebula cloud and stuff like that for like the jump point. It's really cool. boy. Well. Shit, boys.
Yeah, if it's not working, it's not working. We'll probably end up salvaging this 890, and then it'll be about time for me to run back and park the ship.
Alrighty.
Like, is there a reclaimer, a Carrack, and a bunch of other stuff out here too? Yeah, absolutely. But you know, I really don't have the 3 or 4 hours that we took the last time to.
Yeah, that's fine too. I guess I would just go to Seraphim and Lander. Because I'm not getting any returns or anything from pinging everywhere.
Mm-hmm. It's hilarious dragging the ship into a gunfight, though.
Yeah, I was watching. I was like, what the hell?
I love being in the turrets, man.
Come back here. What are you doing running away? I didn't hear no bell.
Drunkenly staggering.
It's about how it feels bringing a ship this big into that kind of a fight.
Yeah.
All the while, you know, like trying to pay attention to the asteroids and shit that are around us.
So I was saying, like, the other day, I was like, man, it's going to be interesting to bring a Polaris for funsies into an ERT, but also I'm terrified to fly that thing through asteroid belts.
Mm-hmm.
Just be careful.
It gave me flashbacks to flying the Corvette in Elite Dangerous. So I'm a federal Corvette owner in that game, with all of its bells and whistles and weapons and equipment and shit, and fighting people in the middle of a dense asteroid. People are trying to actively harvest minerals and blow up rocks and things like that. You know, there's pirates that are out there that try and stop that kind of work. So it's like, okay, I've got guns and fighters and platforms and all of that, but it is not a small ship, and it does not move very fast. And once you get committed to a given direction, like, that's it. You're moving in that direction for a hot minute. It's going to take a lot of energy to change that delta V.
Yeah, the Clippers know better.
Exactly. Any of the big ships have basically reclaimer problems and whatnot in that kind of zone where it's like, it is big, and if you are on a path where you're going to impact that asteroid and you didn't think about that several seconds in advance, you're going to hit it.
Yup.
At this point, it's just a question of how hard.
I'm excited to try it out. I've got a lot of practice with big ships, more so than small ships, actually, but...
Yep. Like, don't get me wrong. I liked my Freelancer as long as I had it, and you know, really the only real reason why I ended up upgrading to a C1 was it had nicer light panels and was a newer ship.
Honestly, I prefer the C1 myself over it. The Freelancer's just aged.
Yeah.
Just hasn't been touched in a while.
Yeah, and like, honestly, if it got a QOL pass on it that brought it up to the same sort of gold standard as a lot of the other small ships, I'd go back to a Freelancer.
I mean, all the ships will get it eventually. It's just we
Right,
gotta wait.
It's a matter of time.
Yeah, all of it's a matter of time.
But
Yep.
But you know, the big thing with it is like the Freelancer kind of has that space Winnebago feel to it. And I got 4 seats up front, got the bunk beds in the middle, and the modest cargo capacity in the back. It was perfect as a runabout or as a daily runner. You know, because if I wasn't doing anything with a reclaimer crew, I could do a lot with a Freelancer. Even if all I'm doing is delivering DHL packages from one point A to point B. Honestly, if I was to do something like that again with the Freelancer, I'd go ahead and pick up the yellow Grey Cat armor just for it and see if I could find a yellow paint job for the ship.
You probably could.
Welcome to Kovalex.
I actually have the yellow Grey Cat armor. You can get it from Orison.
Mm-hmm. I've been up to
Also
the
get it from
facility.
any refinery.
Yeah.
Or cargo deck as well. It's the blue ones that you have to get specifically from Orison, I believe. But...
Mm-hmm.
being nervous.
53 tons of RMC is not too shabby so far. Yeah, and I am looking forward to the fully realized gameplay loop and seeing how close my vision of it kind of matches up to the reality of the situation.
Mm.
Yeah, because assuming 100% of what they said for salvage is going to be here at some point, the basic order of operations is sweep the ship for useful cargo, useful components, people, and weapons and other things that are carried on board. While that's going on, scrape the outer hull. It takes time. Assuming we find that there are no people on board and therefore no need for life support, got our own helmets and everything else on and all of that, then transfer any useful fluids aboard. Quantum fuel, hydrogen, oxygen, water, anything that kind of fits into that category. And once the ship is all scraped and certified that there's nobody on board who's findable or wants to be findable, then break it. And then either move on, or in the case of something like this, where it's absolutely going to fill the whole damn hold, we'll probably break it too, just so I have the whole thing ready to go. I don't even know if I'm going to unload the hopper. That might just be something that we do on the ground at a later date, because we're coming up on 20 minutes from the end of stream.
I mean, I can go ahead and just break it now if you want.
Well, we still got some nuggets on board to get. We do have that other side on the back of the ship.
Well, alright. In that case, I'm gonna run to the store. I'll be back here in a little while.
Okie
Y'all
dokie.
are around when I get back, great. If not, I'm good.
Yep.
I should be around.
I might be around. It just depends on how long it takes me to get everything taken care of for the car today.
Yeah. Sometimes this stuff... Hey, sometimes this stuff goes faster than you think.
It does. Yeah, and if I'm out and back in an hour, then great. If I'm not, well, that's life.
Yeah, it happens. It's what you expected out of car stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well. See ya.
Catch you later, bud.
Take care.
I like when we have nice discussions like that.
Yeah, I do too. It's a great thing. If anyone else watching the stream has opinions on it, I'd like to hear from that too. Feel free to post a message there in chat if you like. Well, I appreciate that too, Anna.
barely anything left on this side now.
Yep, I'm going to move us over to that other side.
Alright, while you do that, I'm just gonna keep going around.
Yeah, I may just pay for that. No, because it's got to get out of the hopper first.
I mean, at least you can do 16 SCU crits.
See if I can get us a position we can get both halves of the back end at once.
God, you don't realize how big the 890 is until you're actually on foot standing below it.
How's that?
That's perfect.
I've got some idea about how big that ship is. There's all kinds of little landmarks with it. First is how much of it actually is visible in the Reclaimer when I'm maneuvering it through the cockpit rather than through third person. But then there's things like you can see the airlock door. The airlock door is about as big as a person is. Tall, anyway. And about 2 to 3 people wide. Plus, you know, having done the 890 jump mission too, like there's a lot of interior space in there.
Yeah.
It's the other thing that I very much appreciate with this particular game is things like that, the scaling, size, the fact that the ships are built with, you know, rooms and things on the inside that take up actual space. The ship is not just big enough and it's there and it's like, okay, well, where does all this actually fit?
Yeah, 1-to-1 scale too.
Hmm? If we were to go through that airlock, we could go see the luxury lounge and the spa, the hangar decks, medical bays. They're all there. The auxiliary bridge, which is just kind of funny. The ship has one.
Oh, grabbing RMC a lot quicker here being this close.
Yeah, distance is a factor in that. You don't have to hold for quite as long. I might try and push to be within 100 meters from now on. Maybe within 50 if we could spare it.
I'm gonna say we're at 50 right now because I'm sitting at 43.2. And it's perfect.
Curious what the Reclaimer's drones are going to be able to do.
Now that you mention it, yeah.
You know, I wonder if they're going to be multi-purpose. I can't imagine they've got any combat capabilities. So, like, I'm ruling that one right out the gate. You know, they're not going to have guns on board. They're not going to have, you know, things like that. I don't even really want them to have the option for guns. But
I think maybe like tractor beam variants and
maybe sensors.
Small. Yeah.
You know, the idea of like using a remote drone like an A2 Bustard or something in Arma 3, where it's, you know, you send the drone into a place like this and go, yeah, there's a ship out here. You want to push, you know, 80, 90 kilometers inside of dense asteroid space to go salvage a ship. We're here. You can do it.
You can go ahead and move us to the other side if you want.
I'm getting a lot here on the bottom.
One thing I'm enjoying watching right now is the shadow that the Reclaimer's putting on the 890, and you can see it slowly moving.
No, yeah, between the asteroids behind us and the sun's movement and this asteroid belt and moon's movement around the sun.
Yep, because we're obviously in the gravity well of this moon, so we're moving with the planet right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool.
Orbital mechanics.
About as much as I can grab from what I can see.
Let's go ahead and break it. And we'll get out of here.
Alrighty. It's gonna take a minute. Come, side strafe right a bit. A little bit more. There. It's still gonna take a while because of the size of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot of SCU. $1.3K.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, 3 bars full. Almost halfway.
Yep, starting to see the ripples around it.
Halfway done. %done.
Stand by to back us off if it gets unruly.
90%. $97, $98, $99, and there she blows.
Mm-hmm. Let's try and get
Alright.
this forward piece.
Yep, forward. It's still minus 19, but either way, it's a full hold regardless.
Yeah, let's grab it.
Move us left a little. I think with the negative, it's still taking it a while to disintegrate forward. Nose up slightly, 2 degrees. There. It's going a little faster now.
Yep, I can see it.
Yeah,
rippling through.
this is gonna fill the filler station.
Mm-hmm.
Could do with someone emptying boxes right now.
I was gonna say, once you get this one in the hold, I'll start heading for home and bring the ship into land if you want to start dumping 16s out.
Yeah. I mean, you could take over the claw if you want while I quickly do some 16s and grab the big bit.
That's fine. You've
More
already got it.
money.
You got it mostly done.
I was on about
I
the
got it.
big
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
Because that's still worth 1.3k. It's still more than what we can carry.
Yeah, we'll grab that too.
All right. I'll go dump boxes.
How's your hydro doing?
All right. Salvage processing. All right. Do the RMC first.
I'm somehow barely hurt. Oh, you know what I think it was? It was when I first got into the Grey Cat, it jostled me around while getting into the vehicle.
Oh. Great. Stop misbehaving.
How are we looking?
Well, RMC's now done. Moving on to construction.
All right.
Hopper should be emptying pretty quick right now.
Yeah, it's at 98 out of 240. I've started the disintegration process. It's taken its sweet time.
Yeah, it will, sadly.
Well, I mean, I am filling the whole hopper in one go, so there's that. 25%. %. Yeah, you've almost got it completely empty. It's only another 24 SCU in there, so you can do a 16 and an 8, presumably.
Here's hoping. I wouldn't mind another 8.
It's actually an even number, too, which is hilarious. Oh, no, not really, because we had literally filled to capacity. So it actually makes sense.
I can do a 4 out of that one.
Oh no, we'll only get 236 SCU out of this 1.3K SCU container. Be nice if the 890s broke up into smaller component parts. Like, even if I have to fracture them again, just for efficiency's sake, it would be nice to break this 1.3K down into 200 SCU storages. There we go. Station's full.
Yep. Seeing that.
And while you get the rest of that out, I'm not going to worry about unloading it into the actual hoppers in the place.
I can tell we're moving because my heading indicator at the top's moving.
Jumping to yellow OM2. Jumping to Crusader. Jumping to Orison. Like I said, we won't worry about offloading it by hand. We'll just have them do it.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just filling this area with the 16s.
That is the way to do it. Or normal space.
I can't pick anything up or put my weapon away or anything right now.
No, might be because we're in the armistice zone of the planet.
No, but that still shouldn't stop tractor beams. I can't even switch to my med pen or anything. What the heck?
Alright, game. I could really use this close platform. Transitioning SEM guns.
Wait, really? You changed to SEM guns and it let me start moving my inventory around again.
That's funny.
That is weird, but now my tractor beam's starting tractor mode. And my inventory stopped all of a sudden again. What is going on?
We'll see if it doesn't fix itself once we get to the hangar. Calling for the landing.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Put me on the far one. Hopefully we'll get there in time. We should. I think it takes the doors forever to open up.
Hmm.
Transitioning modes.
Those doors don't look like they're open.
Sure don't.
Might have to request it again.
Gateway granted. There they go. Okay, so they waited for me to get close enough before they started opening the door. I like that a little more. Lining up. Descending. Yay, no weird artifact glitch in the middle. Landing complete. Engines are off.
And now my tractor beam's working again. That's so weird.
No, go ahead and keep offloading.
Exactly what I'm doing. Not many left.
Oh, I probably have to store the ship too before I can use the,
No. You can still do it.
Okay. What I'm going to do is start heading towards the place, and once you're done, just go ahead and exit the ship and button it up.
Yep. I got one more crate to do after this one, then I'm done.
Excellent, thank you.
Put you there. Nope. Oh, god damn it. Accidentally ejected a 1 SCU by accident.
It happens.
That's because it wasn't a even number to do 16 for some reason.
Well, because we don't have exactly you know, 4 tons of RMC or whatever.
True that.
All we can do is get the ship as empty as possible.
Yep. I've ejected a 4, and I think I can do a 1, and then... Yeah, she's pretty much empty after this.
Perfect. Yeah, just kick those out and set them wherever they're going to go, and then
I'm sorry. Due to inactivity, we have been forced to assign your landing zone to another customer.
they just mentioned they're going to have to assign my landing zone to another customer. Where's this one going? Providence platform. Okay, so I'll be able to sell the construction mats first.
Alright, exiting the ship.
Cool, thank you.
Whew. That is weird though, when you were flying back, that's the first time I've encountered that, where the tractor beams just suddenly stop working once you're in Armistice. That's weird.
I've been able to pull out the med pen before in an armistice, or the medical devices before in an armistice zone.
Yeah, I've been able to do that and tractor beam.
Yeah, I have never been able to do the tractor beam in an armistice zone myself. Maybe I just
Alright,
haven't
ship
tried it
closed.
recently, but
Approaching next station. If this is your stop, please prepare to disembark. Last call for passengers. The shuttle is preparing to depart. The next shuttle is approaching the station.
right on time. I just arrived at Providence platform. And you're out of the hangar?
Almost. Waiting for the elevator. Now I am.
Okay. Construction materials.
Please ignore the containment warning on Sector 03BR. We're looking into the faulty sensor now.
No, it wants me to do it manually.
Might have to store the ship then. Could have sworn you could do it without storing the ship.
Hull sealing check needed at line 060Y. Hull seal check line 060Y.
No, I'm not going to confuse it, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it all this way. Alright, well, I'm not going to worry about it because I got other things that I need to do, so I'm going to go ahead and
Yep.
call it here. And I'll just make it a point to
Last call for passengers. The shuttle is preparing to depart.
unload it at a later time. You know, I will try and store it. Let me see if storing it does it, because it's a quick trip back and forth. Of course, I say that, and there's no shuttle.
The next shuttle is approaching the station. The next shuttle is approaching the station. Last call for passengers. The shuttle is preparing to depart. The next shuttle is approaching the station.
Because, like, it's telling me that I need to unload it manually and put it in the cargo and everything else.
Hmm.
Like, there's not even a
Last
checkbox
call
for me to
passengers. The shuttle is preparing to depart.
do that with.
Please clear the hatch. Shuttle will be departing.
Sounds good, Frost. Just gotta go store a ship, and then we'll see if it'll let me sell it that way. In the meantime, now let me go ahead and pull up the old document here. Accessories, notepad. So we spent 21,000.
1,000 from me, 20 to you.
Excellent.
Approaching next station.
At least you don't have to go all the way back to your hangar to store the ship.
I might actually.
Last call for passengers. The shuttle is preparing to depart.
How so? The ISOP terminals at the top should still do it as well.
The ones up there tend to say claim rather than store.
Apparently that's been fixed. That was in one of the patch notes.
Yeah, well, we'll try it.
I remember seeing it, something about ASOP terminal showing claim instead of other stuff, or something in the patch notes.
Yeah, I'm willing to try it. We'll see what happens.
Hmm.
It wouldn't be the first time they thought they fixed something and they didn't.
True that.
Or if there's some other, glitch with it or whatever else, because I couldn't use landing services either.
Ready to reset your expectations from the everyday to the nice.
Safety is a top priority for all of us at Crystal.
But broadly speaking, every time I've tried doing this with the
Welcome to the
hangar,
ASOP vehicle retrieval
yeah, see, it just says claim.
Together, we can set your visit on the right course.
I'm waiting for stream to catch up. That is so dumb.
It's fine. I don't have to watch it go down here, down the lift.
You got my hangar in there, but it's not saying my name.
Mm-hmm.
It's glitched.
You are now %S or %S. Oh, there's a reclaimer.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Oh, it's not even. It's telling me the claimant here too.
You might not be parked properly.
Probably not. So what I'm going to do is exit to main menu. Actually, I'm going to just exit the game and we'll unload it at a later time. Because we are half an hour past the end of stream and I got some other errands I need to do. So, let me go ahead and roll things over there for that. And I'll be right back. So, today was a little bit of a different adventure. Did a little bit of Star Citizen rather than flying around and doing stuff, but everything else is pretty good about that. If you want to catch this and other VODs, you can catch those on the YouTube channel at @PyLonRamar. I appreciate all the likes, follows, subscribes. If you feel like doing that, great. If you have an Amazon Prime, you do have access to a free Twitch subscription of your choice. And if you choose to spend that here, I very much appreciate it. But again, you don't have to. It's all optional. You can also donate directly if you choose at coffee.com/PyLonJRamar if you feel to give more money to me that way rather than giving some of it to Twitch. As far as our usual week-to-week stuff, generally Saturday we do DCS in the morning. This week we changed it up a little bit. But we'll be back again for DCS on Monday night, as well as classic games on Monday night. We finished up Conquest of Camelot last week. I believe we'll be starting Conquest of the Longbow with Robin Hood. Or perhaps one of the Space Quest games. We'll take a look and see where we get to there at 9 p.m. on Monday. Friday is Arma Night. And with that, always ask for consent. Try to communicate as best you can with your partners. Try to be genuinely decent human beings. And I will catch up with you at a later time. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a good day.